बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बि यस्सिर व ला तुअस्सिर व तम्मिम बिल खैर व बिका नस्तईन या फ़त्ताहु या फ़त्ताह. So our today's topic of discussion is drug response curves. As the name shows, this is a curve. These are the curves between the doses of a drug and the responses of a drug. So drug response curves shows the relationship between the drug concentration and response. So on the x-axis we plot the concentration of the drug, and on the y-axis we plot the responses of the drug. So at each dose we see the response of a drug, and in this way we plot a graph. So हम इसमें क्या करते हैं, एक्स एक्सिस पे कंसंट्रेशन लेते हैं, डोजेज लेते हैं ड्रग की. फॉर एग्जांपल स्टार्टिंग विद 5 मिलीग्राम, 10 मिलीग्राम, 15 मिलीग्राम, 25 मिलीग्राम, 30 milligram, and then we see the response of that dose on the y-axis, and in this way we plot a graph. So this is very important. Drug response curves are very important for certain purposes. What are these purposes? Let's see these purposes. So the drug response curve shows a relationship between the concentration of a drug and the responses of a drug. So drug response curves can be used to design the result of any kind of experiment. For example, I am manufacturing a drug A. मैंने एक ड्रग ए मैन्युफैक्चर करनी है. अब मैंने देखना है कि ये ड्रग जो है अपना रिस्पांस दे रही है कि नहीं दे रही. इसकी डोज मुझे क्या रखनी पड़ेगी, इसके साइड इफेक्ट्स क्या हो सकते हैं, किस किस डोज पे इसके साइड इफेक्ट्स आएंगे, मार्जिन, सेफ लेवल ऑफ मार्जिन के लिए इसकी डोज कितनी होनी चाहिए, और कितनी से लेवल इंक्रीज कर गया तो इसके साइड इफेक्ट्स आएंगे. अ पर्सन इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम रीनल डिजीज, उसके अंदर इसकी कितनी डोज होनी चाहिए. So these all questions are answered by the drug response curve. So drug response curves can be used to design the results of any kind of experiments. So it can be described mathematically and represented graphically. So mathematically we describe this mathematically, that at this dose the response is this. Then if we increase the dose, then the response becomes this. On further increasing the dose, the response becomes this. So we can describe this graph mathematically and illustrate it graphically. You can see this is a graph. This is a sigmoidal shaped graph. It is showing the relationship between the response and the dose. So very important point to note here, the dose is written here in the log. It is the log of dose, not the arithmetic dose. It is the log of dose. Why we use log of dose, not the concentration, I will be telling you in the next slides. So see, if we plot a graph between the responses at different doses in such a way that the dose is taken in the logarithmic scale. अगर हम डोज को लोगरिथमिक स्केल में लें और उसके डिफरेंट डोजेस पे उसके रिस्पॉन्सेज को प्लॉट करें, तो एक कर्व आएगा हमारे पास, that is sigmoidal shape. If the dose is in log, if the dose is in log, that will be of sigmoidal shape. So you can see this, increasing the dose the response increases till there is maximum response, and on further increasing the response does not increases. कि हम डोज इंक्रीज करते जा रहे हैं, रिस्पांस इंक्रीज होता जा रहा है, एक ऐसी जगह आ रही है जहां पे डोज इंक्रीज हो रही है लेकिन रिस्पांस कांस्टेंट हो गया. So there are the different types. This is the important question. The question is prof question that differentiate between graded drug response curves and quantile drug response curves and give the significance of both curves. कि why we draw these curves, हमें क्या जरूरत है इन curves को draw करने की. And in the pharmacopoeia there is a drug response curve of each drug. हर ड्रग की जो ड्रग रिस्पॉन्स कर्व्स ड्रॉ की जाते हैं एक्सपेरिमेंट के थ्रू, उसके हर ड्रग के जो रिस्पॉन्स कर्व है वो ड्रॉ किए जाते हैं. फिर जब उस ड्रग को प्रूव करना होता है कि ये ड्रग जो है ये करेगी, और जब उसको FDA से प्रूव कराना था तो उसके ड्रग रिस्पॉन्स कर्व को दिखाना पड़ता है कि ये इस तरह का इसका ड्रग रिस्पॉन्स कर्व है. सो इसको कंसंट्रेशन इफेक्ट कर्व भी कहते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि इंक्रीजिंग द कंसंट्रेशन वी आर ऑब्जर्विंग द effect of that pharmacologically active substance in the body. Okay, if we increase the drug concentration, that what is the effect? For example, let us take an example of Panadol. If it increase the concentration of Panadol from 500 milligram to 1000 milligram, what will be the effects on the body? What will be the effect on the temperature of the body? So there are two types: graded drug response curve and quantile drug response curve. So you can see graded dose response curve. So as the name shows, graded, it is a quantitative curve between increasing dose concentration of drug and varying responses. And the same curve as I have shown you, this was basically the graded dose response curve. So it is the quantitative curve. It is not a qualitative curve. It is a quantitative curve because we are taking the concentrations on the x-axis and observing the response of that drug on the y-axis. So it is a quantitative curve between increasing doses, concentration of a drug, and varying responses. So generally with increase in dose, there is increase in response. As I have already shown you in the graph, when the dose is increased, the response is increased. But this increase is but this increase in response is up to certain limit. एक लिमिट तक ये ड्रग का रिस्पांस इंक्रीज होगा. जब हम फर्दर ड्रग के डोज को इंक्रीज करते रहेंगे, ये रिस्पांस इंक्रीज नहीं होगा. ये इसकी रीजन क्या, ड्रग इंक्रीज नहीं होगा रिस्पांस? इसकी रीजन ये है कि जो रिसेप्टर्स हैं वो सैचुरेट हो जाएंगे. रिसेप्टर सैचुरेट हो जाएंगे, मैक्सिमम ड्रग का जो रिस्पांस है वो आ जाएगा. बाकी ड्रग की जो हम जितनी भी डोज इंक्रीज करते रहे, रिस्पांस उतना रहेगा. So a time comes when even with increased dose there is no further increase in response. So there are two definitions: the threshold dose and the maximum dose, yes, ceiling dose. Very important. Threshold dose is the minimum dose which produces an observable response. For example, we want to decrease the temperature in case of dengue fever by giving the Panadol. The minimum amount of Panadol that decreases the temperature of a body by certain degrees that is desired for the patient and for the doctor. So that minimum dose will become the threshold dose. मिनिमम डोज जो ड्रग की एक ऑब्जर्वेबल फार्माकोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए होती है, वो थ्रेशोल्ड डोज होती है. These definitions are very important for Viva. और मैक्सिमम सीलिंग डोज क्या होती है? You can see the ceiling. Ceiling is basically the roof. So it is the highest. So the dose which produces the maximum response and even further increase in the dose, there is no increase in the response. This is known as ceiling effect. Yes, ceiling dose. This effect is known as ceiling effect. This dose is known as ceiling dose or the maximum dose. ऐसी डोज जिस डोज से मैक्सिमम इफेक्ट आ जाए, मैक्सिमम बॉडी के रिसेप्टर्स ऑक्यूपाई हो जाएं और फर्दर डोज इंक्रीज करने से इफेक्ट पे कोई जो रिस्पांस पे कोई इफेक्ट ना आए, इसको हम कहते हैं सीलिंग डोज. एंड द इफेक्ट इज कॉल्ड एज सीलिंग इफेक्ट. So you can see this graph. This is a basic illustration of, you can see increasing the dose, the response is increasing. Increasing the dose, the response is increasing. You can see this at 0.5. Let's suppose this is a logarithmic scale. 0.5, the response is this, and this is automated machine which determines the response of a drug. Automated machines होती हैं जो drug के response को दे. You can see this increasing the dose, the response is increasing. So how we present this mathematically? This relation is important. The relation between the concentration and the effect, or the dose and the response, can be described mathematically as we have described this. We will describe this graphically as well as mathematically. As I have already told you in the first slide, that we can describe these curves as mathematically and illustrate them as graphically. So this is E is equal to E max multiplied by C divided by C plus E C50. This is very important for solving certain MCQs. They can give the values in the MCQs and they can ask to tell the effect observed. So E is effect observed, that we are observing by giving different doses. C is the concentration of the drug, the concentration of the drug that we are giving. E max is the maximum response produced by that given drug. वो जो हमने ड्रग की मैक्सिमम डोज से जो मैक्सिमम इफेक्ट आ रहा है वो कितना है. और EC50 very important. EC50 is basically the concentration of a drug that produces 50% of the maximum effect. वो concentration of drug जो maximum effect के 50% response produce कर रही है. For example, 100 milligram of Panadol produces the maximum effect. So 50 milligram will become the EC50. So this is the formula. E is equal to E max multiplied by C divided by C plus EC50. So 2 times C, that is the concentration of drug. E is effect observed, that we are observing the effect. So by using this formula, we can see calculate the effect observed at each concentration, and then we can plot a graph by using this formula. लेट्स सपोज हमने एक कंसंट्रेशन दी 1 मिलीग्राम, तो उसका हमने इफेक्ट इस फार्मूले से देखा और उसको ग्राफ में प्लॉट किया. फिर हमने कंसंट्रेशन दी 2 मिलीग्राम, उसका हमने इफेक्ट देखा और ग्राफ में प्लॉट किया. फिर 3 मिलीग्राम. इस तरह हमने डोजेज इंक्रीज करते गए और उनके इफेक्ट्स को इस फार्मूले से कैलकुलेट करते गए, एंड देन वी प्लॉटेड अ ग्राफ बिटवीन द कंसंट्रेशन एंड द रिस्पॉन्स. So the graph is hyperbolic. Very important. If the concentrations are not taken in the logarithmic scale, the graph is hyperbolic. You can see here. This. You can see this graph is hyperbolic when the doses are in linear scale or arithmetic scale. And this graph is sigmoidal shape when the dose is taken in log scale. So this is very important. Why a question that why we take dose in log scale. हमें क्या जरूरत है कि हम जो ड्रग की डोज है उसको लॉग स्केल में लें. सिंपल, हम हमारे पास लीनियर स्केल में हम अपने आप को क्यों इतनी मुशक्कत में डालें कि उसको लॉग स्केल में लें. सो आई विल बी टेलिंग यू. So remember this, in on the linear scale, if the doses are taken in the linear arithmetic scale, the graph is hyperbola. This is very important. Okay, if the drug doses are taken in the linear scale, the graph will be sigmoidal shape, hyperbolic shape. So answer will be hyperbolic shape. And if the doses are taken in the log scale, the graph will be the sigmoidal shape. So you can see we can change this equation into another equation depending upon the receptor occupancy, because the effect produced is through the receptors. जो effect produce होता है वो receptors की वजह से होता है, वो receptors की वजह से ही होता है. So हम उसको receptor से replace कर सकते हैं. For example, if the percentage of receptors that bind drug is plotted against drug concentration in a similar curve is obtained because the response is due to binding of receptors. So अगर हम y एक्सिस पे परसेंटेज ऑफ रिसेप्टर बाउंड ले लें और x एक्सिस पे वही डोज ले लें लीनियर स्केल में या फिर लॉग स्केल में, सो सेम ग्राफ आएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस इज या रिस्पॉन्स प्रोड्यूस इज बाय द रिसेप्टर्स. रिसेप्टर्स की वजह से ही, रिसेप्टर्स की ऑक्यूपेंसी की वजह से ही रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है. So you can see this equation will become B. B is the effect observed by binding of a drug on the receptor. B max, the maximum number of bound receptors. C will be the concentration. This will be the concentration C plus KD. This KD is very important for MCQ point of view. This is the concentration of that bind 50% of the receptor. So EC50 is the concentration that is required to produce the 50% of the maximum effect, and KD is the concentration that binds to 50% of the receptors. वो कंसंट्रेशन जो बॉडी के अंदर उस ड्रग के 50% ऑफ द रिसेप्टर्स के साथ बाइंड कर जाएगी वो क्या होगी? KD. So if we plot a graph between the dose and response and both values are taken in linear scale, then there will be hyperbolic curve. You can see this curve. This is hyperbolic curve. So I will be telling you these different features, the labeling of this curve in the next slides. So you can see this is semi-log dose response curve. So if the concentration is taken in the log scale, the logarithmic scale, the sigmoidal curve is obtained. This sigmoidal curve is very important. So if the dose is taken in logarithmic scale and the response in the linear arithmetic scale, the response is the same in the linear scale. Just the dose is taken in the logarithmic scale. The curve is sigmoid shape. So important characteristic of this curve. हम डोजेस को लॉग में इसलिए लेते हैं लॉग स्केल में ताकि ये हम इसके करेक्टरिस्टिक्स को ऑब्जर्व कर सकें. अगर हम इसको हाइपरबोलिक में लें तो ये करेक्टरिस्टिक ऑब्जर्व नहीं हो सकते. करेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है? पोटेंसी. Potency, as I've already told you in the previous lecture, potency is the amount of drug needed to produce a response. So you can see this is on the x-axis we have potency. So MCQ में आया होता है which axis of the drug response curve shows the potency, that is x-axis, कि कितनी amount जो है वो response produce कर रही है. Then slope is steep by flat. ये जो इसकी slope है, you can see in the hyperbolic curve there is no slope. There is no slope. In the hyperbolic curve there is no slope, and in the sigmoidal curve there is slope. This is slope. Why we need slope? Slope tells the toxicity of a drug. Slope tells the toxicity of a drug or the margin of safety of a drug. So you can see this. I will be telling you what is the importance of this slope. So slope tells the safety or the margin of safety of the toxicity of a drug. This is very important. I have seen multiple MCQs in the past paper. Okay, the slope of drug response curve shows what? So it will shows the margin of safety या फिर toxicity of a drug and the maximum effect. You can see on the y-axis the peak point is the maximum effect and the variability in drug response. At this point we can see the variability. How we can see the variability of drug response? I will be telling you with a graphical presentation. So you can see this is the hyperbolic curve when the dose is taken in the logarithmic scale, and this is the sigmoidal curve when the dose is taken in the logarithmic scale. So when in the linear scale this is hyperbolic, and in the logarithmic scale it is sigmoidal shape. So you can see slope can be calculated, the variability can be calculated, the drug response, the potency can be calculated, maximum effect. In case of hyperbolic, the maximum effect and potency can be calculated, but no toxicity or the margin of safety can be calculated because there is no slope of that hyperbolic curve. So advantages of semi-log dose response curve, as I've already told you, it is a sigmoid in shape with linear mid portion. So there is another importance. It occupies less space and many observation can be recorded on same graph. So you can see if this is sigmoidal shape, this space can be empty, and many graphs can be taken on the same paper. But if the graph is hyperbolic, then the certain graphs can be overlapped on each other. अगर ये hyperbolic होगा तो एक तो space occupy करेगा ज़्यादा, पेपर्स हमें ज़्यादा यूज़ करने पड़ेंगे, और जो डिफरेंट कर्व्स आएंगे वो ओवरलैप करेंगे एक दूसरे के ऊपर. और सिग्मॉइडल में कर्व स्पेस कम ऑक्यूपाई करेगा और ग्राफ की ओवरलैपिंग कम होगी. और वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, द अफेक्ट it tells the sensitivity. The sigmoidal curve tells the sensitivity. You can see this shape expands the scale of dose axis at low concentration where the effect is changing rapidly. The sigmoidal curve expands the scale of dose axis. It increases the dose, increases the basically the dose axis on x एक्सिस. अगर देखिए हम 100 ले रहे हैं, हम एक्स एक्सिस पे लीनियर ले रहे हैं 100 200, सो जो 100 से 200 है वेरिएशन वो इतनी अच्छी ड्रग रिस्पांस कर्व अगर लीनियर स्केल में लें तो ऑब्जर्व नहीं हो पाएगी. अगर इसी को हम लॉग स्केल में ले रहे हैं तो ये एक्स एक्सिस जो एक्सपेंड हो जाएगा, और अब जो 100 से 200 मिलीग्राम है वो इतना एक्सपेंड हुआ होगा कि रिस्पांस ऑफ द कर्व जहाँ पे सेंसिटिविटी आ रही होती है इनिशियल, वो हम इजीली ऑब्जर्व कर सकते होंगे. और कंपैरिजन ऑफ टू और मोर कर्व्स बिकम इजियर. क्यों? क्योंकि दो कर्व्स ओवरलैप नहीं करते, और आई विल बी टेलिंग यू विद सम ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशंस. दो कर्व ओवरलैप नहीं करते और स्पेस कम ऑक्यूपाई करते हैं और उनकी कंपैरिजन इजीली हो सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर कंपैरिजिंग ड्रग ए एंड ड्रग बी, सो वो इजीली कंपैरिजन हो सकते हैं. यूजेस क्या है इसकी? इट इज यूजफुल फॉर these are the uses of drug response curve. It is useful for the determination and comparison of potency, that is EC50, as I already told you. On the x-axis, determination and comparison of efficacy. This is the maximum effect. As I have already told you, the efficacy is the maximum effect produced by the concentration of drug. So it is Emax. On the y-axis, slope can indicate the toxicity of a drug, and the steep flat can indicate the toxicity or margin of safety, which is again the slope. And the selectivity of action of drug can be study of selectivity. How we can study the selectivity of a drug? By plotting a graph between the percentage of the receptors occupied, as I already told you, the modification of this equation, and on the y-axis the log of doses. And receptor study and drug antagonism can be studied. I will be telling you with the help of certain examples. So determination and comparison of potency, as I already told you. So you can see this. these are the drug response curves of multiple drugs. ये drug response curves हैं multiple drugs के. We have 4 drugs: B drug, A drug, C drug and D drug. अब ये इन drug से क्या हमें पता लगा? You can see drug A and B are said to be more potent than C and D. A और B drug जो हैं C और D से more potent हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि लो ड्रग कंसंट्रेशन पे इनका रिस्पॉन्स आ गया. देखें यहाँ पे एक्स एक्सिस पे देखें, लो लो सी और डी से जो ड्रग कंसंट्रेशन है वो लो है और उस पे इनका रिस्पॉन्स आना शुरू हो गया. So that's why A and B drugs are more potent than C and D. You can see the maximum effect produced by A and C drugs are same, as well as D drug are same. The potency is different, but the maximum effect efficacy of these drugs, C drug, D drug and A drug are same. But the maximum effect efficacy of drug B is different and less than that of A and C and D. You can see here also the slope of A and C are very much similar. So the toxicity of A and C are very much similar, but the slope of D is very steep. So the toxicity of D is greater than A and C, and the slope of graph B is less as compared to A, C, and D. That's why the toxicity of B is less than A, C, and D. So they can give you a graph in the MCQ and they can ask you that which of the following drug is the safest drug. Yeah, which of the following drug has highest potency. Yeah, the efficacy of which of the following drug is equal. So कौन सी ऐसी drugs हैं जिनकी efficacy equal है? You can see the maximum effect produced by A, C and D are same. So efficacy of, so in this way we can compare the drug. If I am manufacturing a drug, अगर मैं कोई drug बना रहा हूँ उसकी मैं efficacy दूसरी drug के साथ compare कर रहा हूँ, अगर मेरी efficacy कम आ रही है so वो drug FDA approve नहीं करेगा. Standard drug से मेरी efficacy कम आ रही है उसको FDA approve नहीं करेगा. If the efficacy is very much similar to the standard drug जो एक drug बनी पड़ी है, so my drug will be accepted. और अगर उसकी toxicity ज़्यादा आ रही है तब भी उसको FDA नहीं approve करेगा, और उसकी अगर potency ज़्यादा है तब भी उसको FDA approve नहीं करेगा अगर standard से इस तरह हम उसको compare करेंगे. So that's why we draw a drug response curve. So this potency can be compared, this efficacy can be compared by the help of different graphs. For determination of efficacy, how we determine efficacy, the parameter reflect the limit of the dose response relation on the dose axis. So the efficacy can be determined by Emax, concentration of drug which produces the maximum response, as I've already told you, and the efficacy of two drugs can be compared. So this was in your MCQ also. This was your MCQ assessment. Okay, the clinical effectiveness of drug depends upon its efficacy. एक ड्रग कितनी क्लिनिकली इफेक्टिव है, ई से याद रखें इफेक्टिव, वो डिपेंड करता है उसकी एफिकेसी पे, वो उसकी पोटेंसी पे डिपेंड नहीं करता. सो इफ द एफिकेसी ऑफ ए इज ग्रेटर देन दैट ऑफ बी एंड द पोटेंसी इज डिफरेंट, सो यू कैन सी फ्रॉम हेयर अगेन, अगर ए की एफिकेसी बी से ज्यादा है, यू कैन सी मैक्सिमम इफेक्ट ए का बी से ज्यादा है, सो ए इज मोर क्लिनिकली इफेक्टिव देन बी. Although the potency of B is greater than A, but the clinical effectiveness of drug A is more than drug B. So these are the multiple MCQs and multiple thus, as I already told you, slope, which is the steep and flat ratio, tells about the toxicity and the margin of safety. Let us give you an example. You can see this hydralazine, the slope of hydralazine is more as compared to the slope of hydrochlorothiazide. So these are used for hypertension. These are antihypertensive drugs. So you can see hydrochlorothiazide, which is a thiazide diuretics, is basically less toxic than hydralazine. So hydralazine is more toxic than hydrochlorothiazide. So if they give you the graph of two drugs in MCQ and ask you which of the following statement is correct, so there will be multiple options that you can see the potency of both drug is same. the efficacy of the hydralazine is greater than that of hydrochlorothiazide, and the toxicity of hydralazine is also greater than that of hydrochlorothiazide. So this was a multiple. We can study the selectivity of effect, as I already told you, by plotting the percentage of receptors on the y-axis and the doses on the x-axis. So, for example, we are studying the salbutamol and isoprenaline. Both are adrenergic drug. Both are adrenergic drug. Both are adrenergic activators. एड्रीनर्जिक एएनएस में आप पढ़ेंगे, ये ड्रग्स दोनों सिस्टम्स के एक्टिवेटर हैं. अब सालब्यूटामोल जो है ये बीटा 2 रिसेप्टर्स की सिलेक्टिव एगोनिस्ट है, और आइसोप्रेनालिन जो है ये नॉन सिलेक्टिव एगोनिस्ट है. बीटा 1 से भी बाइंड करती है, बीटा 2 से भी बाइंड करती है. अब इस बात को आप लोग गौर से समझें. बीटा 1 रिसेप्टर्स जो होते हैं ये हार्ट के ऊपर प्रेजेंट होते हैं. किधर प्रेजेंट होते हैं? हार्ट के ऊपर प्रेजेंट होते हैं. बीटा 2 रिसेप्टर्स जो होते हैं ये स्मूथ मसल सेल्स के ऊपर प्रेजेंट होते हैं ऑफ द ब्रोंकाई. अब ये मसल्स क्या करती हैं? ये क्या करती हैं? ड्रग एड्रीनर्जिक रिसेप्टर्स को एक्टिवेट करती हैं. ये मसल्स रिलैक्स करते हैं. ये मसल्स रिलैक्स करते हैं. ठीक हो गया एक बात. अब अगर हमारे पास एक कंडीशन है एस्थमा. एस्थमा में ब्रोंकाई की कंस्ट्रिक्शन हुई होती है. ब्रोंकाई की कंस्ट्रिक्शन हुई होती है, हमने उसको रिलैक्स कराना होता है, ब्रोंको डायलेशन करानी होती है. अब हमें पता है स्मूथ मसल सेल्स के ऊपर बीटा 2 रिसेप्टर्स प्रेजेंट है. बीटा 2 रिसेप्टर्स, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर वाइवा एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर SCQ. You can see multiple times this question is asked that why salbutamol is drug of choice for asthma. So अगर हम उस बंदे को आइसोप्रेनालिन दे दें, उसकी ब्रोंकाई की डायलेशन तो होगी ही होगी. आइसोप्रेनालिन बीटा 1 रिसेप्टर्स को भी एक्टिवेट करती है, उसके साथ साथ हार्ट के रिसेप्टर्स भी एक्टिवेट हो जाएंगे और टेकीकार्डिया होगा, पैल्पिटेशंस होंगी. एस्थमा तो उसका ट्रीट हो रहा है, साथ उसकी टेकीकार्डिया पैल्पिटेशंस भी हो रही हैं इस बंदे को. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी विल गिव द सालब्यूटामोल, दैट इज बीटा 2 सिलेक्टिव ड्रग. बीटा 2 उसको सिलेक्टिव ड्रग देंगे ताकि वो सिर्फ ब्रोंकाई की डायलेशन करवाए, हार्ट पे ना अफेक्ट करे. So you can see this data can be obtained by the drug response curve. We will plot the curves for the different receptors by taking the percentage of that receptors on the y-axis and the doses. So in this way we can plot the graph. In this way we can plot the graph, and in this way we can tell that this drug is more selective for these receptors than this drug. So selectivity of the effect can be produced. So very important again. So we have studied that from the drug response curve, from the graded drug response curve, we can determine the efficacy, we can determine the potency, we can determine the safety and the toxicity of a drug, we can determine the variability of the drug, we can determine the selectivity of the response of a drug to receptors, and we can determine the therapeutic range. So these are the 6 significant points or the 6 usefulness of the drug response curve, the graded drug response curve. वाइवे में क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं कि give why we use drug response curve, why we draw drug response curve, what is the significance of drug response curve. So आपने बताना है कि efficacy can be calculated rapid, आपने जल्दी से बता देना है, उनको पता लग जाएगा आपको आता है. Efficacy can be calculated, potency can be calculated, safety or toxic safety margin or toxicity can be calculated, and the selectivity of response can be measured, the therapeutic range can be measured, and variability can be measured. Not only for one drug, but they can be compared for 2 or more than 2 drugs, as I've already shown you in the graphical representation. So therapeutic range, what is the therapeutic range? Therapeutic range can also be determined. So you can see this graph is for the therapeutic effect. This blue color graph is for the therapeutic effect, and this red color graph is for the adverse effect. This red color graph is for the adverse effects. So you can see the difference between the minimum therapeutic effect. Minimum therapeutic effect drug का क्या है और मैक्सिमम एक्सेप्टेबल एडवर्स इफेक्ट उसका क्या है, इन दोनों के दरमियान के जो डिफरेंस है, द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द मैक्सिमम एक्सेप्टेबल एडवर्स इफेक्ट and the minimum therapeutic effect is called as therapeutic range. So therapeutic range can also be calculated by the drug response curves. And what is the importance of therapeutic range? Why we calculate the therapeutic range? I will be telling you. So the second type of graph is basically the quantile drug response curve. Quantile drug response curve. The first type was graded drug response curve. So this is the quantile drug response curve or the dose percent curve. Very important. It is also called as dose percent because we take the percentage of population. For what is quantile? Quantile drug response curve is a curve graph plotted between the percentage of a population. For example, I am using the population as Lahore. आई एम टेकिंग 100 पीपल, 100 पर्सन में से मैंने सबको वो डोज दी, सबके रिस्पॉन्स दिए, कितने परसेंट ने उस डोज पे रिस्पॉन्स शो किया, उसमें जो ग्राफ आएगा दैट विल बी क्वांटल ड्रग रिस्पॉन्स. The quantile drug response is a curve graph plotted between the percentage of a population that shows a specified all or none response and the doses of the drug. For example, I am testing Panadol on 100 people in Lahore. In Bahria town, Lahore, I am testing a Panadol on 100 people. I will take the sample of 100 people. I will give the 500 milligram of Panadol to all of these people. Then I will measure the temperature. If the temperature is lowered in 80 people, I will say that 80% of the people from my population are showing the response. So for saying this, I will plot a graph. That graph will be quantile drug response curve. This quantile drug response curve is very, very important for your research purposes. For the research on a drug, for the research on certain effects, we draw a quantile drug response curve. We take the percentage of a population. We take the percentage of a persons. And if we are performing this on the animals, we will take the percentage of animals, the percentage of animal that will be showing the certain effect at certain doses. So what is quantile drug response curve? Is a cumulative graph. Cumulative graph. The graded drug response curve was a quantitative graph. Another difference. In that we take the response. In this we take the percentage of a population. So that was a quantitative graph. This is the qualitative graph of frequency distribution of responders versus the log dose. Another important, that dose is taken in log here too. So on y-axis, there is the percentage of a responders, a percentage of a population, and on x-axis, the log doses are plotted. This is very important concept. So for example, we are taking the production of convulsions and withdrawal. For example, I am giving a drug that is producing the convulsions in a patient. I have taken 100 animals, a sample of 100 animals. मैंने एक 100 animals का sample लिया, अपनी एक drug दी उसमें और देखने के लिए कि कितने animals के अंदर convulsions होती हैं या foot withdrawal कितने animals करते हैं. So how I will describe my conclusion? I will say either the drug can produce convulsions, no convulsions. So I will select animals in which there is no convulsions or no convulsions or production of convulsions. For example, 100 animals से उसमें से 50 के अंदर convulsions हुई, 50 के अंदर नहीं convulsions हुई. एक ही मेरे पास पैरामीटर आ गया. दूसरा ये हो सकता है कि either drug can produce foot withdrawal or no withdrawal. So अब उस 100 में से 35 के अंदर जो है foot withdrawal हुआ और बाकी जो 65 के अंदर foot withdrawal नहीं हुआ. एक और पैरामीटर आ गया मेरे पास. Either at specific dose a drug can produce death or no animal dies. अब मैंने ड्रग डोज बढ़ाता गया, उसमें से 30 एनिमल्स जो होते हैं वो डाई कर गए. सो मेरे पास पैरामीटर आ गए. नाउ आई विल प्लॉट अ ग्राफ. सो सेम एप्लीकेशन, इस तरह हम एक ड्रग को जब मार्केट में आती है तो उसकी सारे पैरामीटर्स पीछे से कैलकुलेट होते हैं, उसके ऊपर टेस्टिंग होती है. सो फॉर दिस द क्वांटल, यू कैन सी दिस इज अ क्वांटल ड्रग रिस्पॉन्स कर्व. At the x-axis, this is again the sigmoidal shape. This is again a sigmoidal shape. The 4 parameters are very important. हमने वहां पे पैरामीटर ग्रेडेड ड्रग रिस्पॉन्स में क्या कैलकुलेट किए थे? एफिकेसी, पोटेंसी, सेफ्टिसिटी और टॉक्सिसिटी एंड द वेरिएबिलिटी, थेरेप्यूटिक रेंज and the selectivity of response. See how many significances of the graded drug. What is the significance of quantile drug response curve? I will be telling you. So ये differences हो गए दोनों में. So this is again the sigmoidal shape, but on the y-axis you can see the percentage of individual responding, the percentage of the population that shows a particular effect. So the uses of control drug response curve. So we can it to determine the variability of responsiveness among the population. So variability can be calculated better by the control drug response curve than by the graded drug response curve. I repeat again. Variability can be calculated better by the graded drug response curve, quantile drug response curve than the graded drug response curve. So we can calculate these parameters, these four parameters. The definition of these four parameters very important for Reviva, very important for Reviva. An MCQ. We can calculate the median toxic dose, which is called as TD50. We can calculate the median lethal dose, that is LD50. We can calculate the median effective dose, that is ED50. So they can give you these doses and they will ask you what is the therapeutic index. They can ask you in the MCQ. So we can, from these doses we can calculate the therapeutic index. What are these doses? I will be telling you in the next slide. So we can calculate the variability, we can calculate these three doses, and from these three doses we can calculate the therapeutic index. The therapeutic index is different from therapeutic range. I have told you the definition of therapeutic range. Now I will be telling you the definition of therapeutic index. So it can be used for comparing the potencies of drug, same significance as that of graded drug response. It can provide a valuable index of the selectivity of drug action, same use as that of the graded drug response curve. So you can see what is median effective dose. It is the amount of drug which produces the desired therapeutic effect in 50% of the experimental population. ऐसी ड्रग की डोज जो मेरे पास पॉपुलेशन मैंने सेलेक्ट किया है उसके अंदर 50% लोगों के अंदर अगर 100 मैंने लिया है, 50% का वो बॉडी टेम्परेचर पैनाडोल कम कर देती है, 50 लोगों का कम कर देती है, वो डोज क्या होगी? It is the measure of effectiveness of a drug. So effectiveness of a drug can be calculated by which of the following parameter: ED50, TD50, LD50. This is important MCQs. So answer will be ED50. So median toxic dose. It is the amount of drug which produces a specific toxic effect in the 50% of the experimental population. So the experimental population here is always animals. So we can't risk the human subjects. So you can say that it is the amount of drug which produces a specific toxic effect in the 50% of the experimental animals or the experimental population. It is the measure of acute toxicity of a drug. So median lethal dose, as the name shows, lethal. It is the amount of drug which is fatal. It is the amount of drug which causes death to the 50% of the experimental population. So we can't risk the human subjects. We take animal subjects. This is important. वो आपसे पूछते हैं कि ह्यूमंस, तो अगर ह्यूमंस 50% डाई कर जाएंगे तो फिर ड्रग डिस्कवर कैसे होगी? सो यू विल से वी ऑलवेज टेक द एक्सपेरिमेंटल एनिमल्स. So it is also the measure of acute toxicity. So median effective dose जो 50% में effective होगी, median toxic जो 50% में toxic होगी, और median lethal जो 50% of the experimental population जो मैंने select किया है उसकी death कर देगी. So the experimental population in the last two parameters is always animals. So therapeutic index, what is therapeutic index? It is also called as therapeutic ratio. Therapeutic ratio or therapeutic index. It is the ratio of median toxic dose or median lethal dose to median effective dose. मीडियन टॉक्सिक डोज TD50 या फिर LD50 दोनों में से कुछ भी ले लें और उसके डिनोमिनेटर में हम मीडियन इफेक्टिव डोज ले दें तो थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स आता है. सो एमसीक्यूज में आपको मीडियन टॉक्सिक डोज भी देगा, मीडियन लीथल डोज भी देगा और मीडियन इफेक्टिव डोज भी देगा. सो आप मीडियन लीथल या मीडियन टॉक्सिक डोज में से कुछ भी लें और इफेक्टिव डोज करें, सो आंसर आपका आ जाएगा और एमसीक्यू में होगा. दैट विल टेल द थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स. थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स क्यों मेजर किया? Therapeutic index is appropriate measure of safety of a drug. It tells the safety of a drug. Higher the therapeutic index, safer is the drug. Lower the therapeutic index, less safer or toxic is the drug. So therapeutic index can be calculated by the quantile drug response curve. It can't be calculated by the graded drug response curve. So I am telling you the multiple differential points. This is very important from your SCQ point of view. Differentiate between the graded drug response curve and the control drug response curve. सो अगर थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स ज्यादा होगी ड्रग ज्यादा सेफर होगा. फॉर एग्जांपल पेनिसिलिन, पेनिसिलिन हैज हायर थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स, और warfarin or digoxin have less therapeutic index. So which of the following drug is more toxic? Penicillin or digoxin or warfarin? So digoxin and warfarin both are more toxic. Because reason why? Because the therapeutic index is less. So you can see the therapeutic index calculation of a random drug. मैंने ऐड कर दिया ताकि MCQ के लिए इजी हो. अगर मीडियम टॉक्सिक डोज इस ड्रग की 1000 है और उसकी इफेक्टिव डोज जो है वो 10 है, so you can see 1000 by 10 is equal to 100. So this will be high therapeutic index. So the drug X is safer. Now take an example of another drug. Median toxic dose is 100 and median effective dose is 10. Now the therapeutic index will become 10. So the drug Z is much less safe than drug X because the therapeutic index of X is more as compared to Z. So they can give you this relation in the form of MCQ. They can ask this relation कि एक ड्रग है उसका थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स ये है, दूसरी ड्रग है उसका थेरेप्यूटिक इंडेक्स ये है. अब बताएं कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. वो नीचे लिखा होगा कि ड्रग ए इज मोर सेफर देन बी, या ड्रग बी इज मोर सेफर देन डी, बी, etc. etc. Therapeutic window, as I already told you, it is the difference between the minimum effective concentration and minimum toxic concentration. That is the maximum acceptable effect. So this is minimum effective and minimum toxic. Minimum toxic means the maximum effect acceptable toxic effect. कितने हम टॉलरेट कर सकते हैं उसको मिनिमम टॉक्सिक कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ अ ड्रग का है या फिर मैक्सिमम टॉक्सिक एक्सेप्टेबल इफेक्ट का है. This is a parameter for safety of drug. Greater is the difference, safe is the drug. So if the therapeutic window is greater, the safe is the drug. If the therapeutic index is greater, safe is the drug. So if the therapeutic window is small, less safe is the drug. If the therapeutic index is less safe is the drug. So you can see from example, digoxin, warfarin, as their therapeutic index is also less, their therapeutic window is also less or narrow. That's why these drugs are more toxic. And if you can see benzodiazepine has higher therapeutic window than digoxin. So benzodiazepine are more safe as compared to digoxin. So you can see this is the therapeutic window between the minimum effective concentration and the minimum toxic concentration or the maximum acceptable effect. So this is the therapeutic window. This is the therapeutic window and the therapeutic index, which can be calculated by LD50, TD50 and this. So you can see this is the narrow therapeutic index of warfarin. You can see this is the therapeutic effect, the left curve, and this is for the adverse effect. You can see the therapeutic window is less, and you can see here the therapeutic window is larger. So pencil इस तरह हम therapeutic window calculate करते हैं. You can see the difference between the space between the graphs here and here. So therapeutic index of penicillin is greater than that of warfarin. That's why